So another restoration, and so far it's not looking too good right now. So there's the frame. As you can see, the front half was kind of made. The hood, fenders, time to build an ST10. So this is a custom chassis, like literally custom. Has a custom 7 rear frame and a real custom front part of the frame. So the side portion of the frame, as you can kind of recognize a little bit from this portion, and these, as you could probably see that that's where the high-low range lever goes. Or I guess I should say at least went. Not going to say anything else about that. So side part of the frame here was actually made out of a frame, and the top was part of something else. The very front plates here was actually from a newer Craftsman, like front axle holder, and that's actually the axle I'm going to use is from a Craftsman since I can't find the axle for this. Some steering gears going there in place. I was kind of thinking on actually using custom, like factory style custom gears, but I have to make that little piece that runs down the middle of here, and I'm like, well, I'll just make it all one like that, possibly. So the engine I'm going to use is this here 5 horsepower Honda. I need to find an air filter for this because there's a cover but no filter in there. Over here, I have a couple of things painted for it already. The floorboards, the rear hitch plate, a damaged nose cone, and the lower grille. The nose cone on the ST10s are the same. Unfortunately, this one's badly damaged right here. So, when it's that bad, I don't even bother fixing it because it would just take a lot more work than what I really want to do. And another thing that's different on these, and once again I didn't know that until actually getting it, is the lower grille is one piece. So there's no grille corner that removes, and this is actually not quite as wide as the normal ones. And of course a different mount. As you can see there, it's kind of broke, but I'll have to make a little thing there to fix it. So just a few things I learned on the ST10 compared to the regular one. I actually thought the hoods were the same. But it makes sense to be shorter since it is a smaller tractor. So I'm going to get a few more things done. And I just realized there's those brackets on there that'll have to be cut off to get that other hitch plate on there. So I'm going to get the steering stuff figured out. And I need to somehow get some paint for this. So that'll be interesting. So I need to get some paint. I have white paint, I just need yellow paint. And, well, I guess put it together. So I'll come back with the rest of the video. So you can see the frame, fenders, and the engine shroud are painted. And, of course, I put that on. I guess that's about it until the next clip where the tractor will probably be half assembled. So as you can see, I got a lot done since the last time you saw it. I actually had to make the clutch from scratch. I actually used a custom clutch, like an actual custom clutch. I had to mount the floorboards in a slightly different style than the factory. The front frame is of course made from scratch, sorta. So a lot of things had to have been changed. The front axle is off of a newer Craftsman. It actually fit and actually looks halfway decent on there. Here's another view of that clutch. Fenders are on, that transmission's in, I got some of the decals on. I have to get that shift knob off and put the other red one on it. I put the pan seat on here so I could drill the holes in the side frame and get the floorboards mounted. I'm going to switch that out with a factory low back cushion seat. Another thing I'm going to possibly do is what I'm going to possibly do is put a factory like Tecumseh style air filter on here, because I'm not really a fan of this one. It's just that. This is actually a stock Predator 420 air filter that's just kind of jammed in there. And then I need to figure out a gas tank, which I have one that's really nice, so I'm probably going to use that. Mount that somewhere like that. I got most of the simple wiring done. It's just an on-off switch. That's about it. Other than there's the steering gears. I'm not sure if you've seen those before, but those are out of a Simplicity Regent lawn tractor. Well, I guess next time you see this, it'll probably have tires on it. It might actually be running, I don't know. So there you are, it's all done. So the front half of the frame is made from scratch, and I noticed because of that the hood slants down towards the back just a little bit, so that kind of bothers me a little bit, but it's not too big of a deal. The other thing that kind of bothers me is the front grille is broke right here, but that's just how it's going to be. I wasn't going to bother fixing it, so. Underneath the hood, you can see how I did the gas tank and everything. It's a little sketchy how it's mounted, but it seems to work pretty good. It's mounted there, and then there's another little bracket that just holds it up underneath. I would use the factory gas tank that came on the engine, except I couldn't figure out how to get the fuel to go in the engine without some kind of a fuel pump, so I just said forget it and made my own fuel tank mount. The other thing I had to do is, because since this front part of the frame is different, I had to make my own dash. So that dash is actually made out of wood, and it doesn't quite fit quite right on the side. So if you go over any kind of bumps, this hood kind of goes like that. And then there's the throttle. It's not great, but at least when you kind of look at it from like right here, it looks fine. So I decided to leave the seat since I kind of figured it kind of looks cool on there. It kind of goes with the rest of the look on it. So, well, there you go. I'll just show you a couple more angles of it here, and